Scott, you've been involved with the KHL since its inception. Can you tell me a little bit about the evolution of the league that you've seen to the point that it could include a Chinese club on its roster?
Well, I think the level of professionalism that has developed over the decade-long evolution of the KHL has made it to where you could evolve into different countries. That when Alexander Medvedev started the KHL, he was hoping for transparency, matching equipment, budgetary restraints across the board, and just a level of professionalism that was competitive with the NHL. So, and I think we far exceeded that level of initial intent and target and what the goals were.
One of the most memorable moments that I spent with Kunlun was actually at the Wayne Gretzky School of Hockey in Beijing, seeing your youth selections. Can you tell me a little bit about the progress of your youth training camps?
Well, it's really set up over several platforms, and that we've been, and it's really been our owner, Billy Nook, that has been willing to try almost anything and everything to develop hockey in China. That he's made a commitment to growing hockey and he's stayed with it. Obviously, we have like the U11 teams, the U12 teams, U8 teams, U10 teams, whether they're in Shenzhen, whether they're in Shanghai, whether they're in Beijing, that we're trying to grow hockey at the real grassroots level. We've even as much done, ECAC days at the Canadian International, schools in Beijing. That we figured out over the course of the last couple of years that education is just as important as athleticism, and even more important, quite honestly, in China. So therefore, we're trying to find a nice mixture of educational opportunities that can be offered to the parents and athletic opportunities that can be offered to the kids that are interesting enough. That, not just Chinese hockey, but hockey everywhere. You have very competitive recruiting business that's developed that goes even down into the U8s, U10s, and U12s. That, in Beijing, as hockey has become more in focus as we approach the Olympics, there's more and more sports clubs, more sports teams, more competition for players. You have, even with our national team in Czechoslovakia, that you have Jaromír Jágr that's training one of the development national teams. Specifically in Shenzhen with our Gretzky Academy, to have what would be the greatest hockey player of all time lending his name to your program, to your mission, is a wonderful opportunity, wonderful thing. When Wayne showed up, I think people realized the true level of commitment that the Red Star has towards developing hockey at all levels.
You mentioned Billy in your last answer, so tell me a little bit about his development of women's hockey. The Hockey News actually called him out as a great advocate for women's hockey, and here we're in Shenzhen, the home of your women's team. What has contributed to their success?
Well, I say to people all the time that we have far exceeded, not just in hockey, but in any sport, the commitment to women's athletics at a professional level. That even as we sit here in Shenzhen today, that we have what's 13,000 seat hockey arena that's half full for women's hockey on a given Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. That in North America you have the CWHL, which we competed in for a couple of years, that it's actually folded and gone under because they couldn't figure out a working business model. Where we've adjusted and gone in a little bit of a different direction, going up into the WHL with the Russian Women's Hockey League, and that today we'll have 8,000 or 9,000 fans for a doubleheader between a men's KHL game and a women's WHL game. So in that we've been really able to attract some of the better players in the world because of the financial commitment that our ownership has and that Kunlun Red Star has towards women's hockey. That it would be nice to see other people that are in the same position, or other companies that are in the same position, respect the women's game at the level that Red Star does.